Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And in this episode, I'll be trying out a Chinese brand I haven't had before. This is JML's Instant Noodle Artificial Mushroom Chicken Flavor. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. Now, JML is an abbreviation for JinMaiLang, so you can sometimes find these noodles online under either name, JML or JinMaiLang. They're a Chinese company that I really can't find too much info on, which has kind of been typical of Chinese noodle companies I've looked into. They don't seem to have much of an online presence. But from what I did gather, JML has apparently been around since 1996 and seems to be reasonably popular among instant noodle lovers. They have an abundant variety of noodle packs and cups at my local Asian market, and probably yours too if your market has shelf space for Chinese noodles. And you can find these easily online as well. This cup was $2.79 at my store, and it is a pretty decent size for the money. I grabbed a couple of cups to review, and so here we are with this mushroom chicken one first. I should also mention that this comes in pillow packs, and I've seen some people say that the cup versions are inferior due to noodle quality, which is typical. Usually the stuff in here is lesser quality than what you get in the pillow packs. So if this review isn't very good, I might grab a pillow pack of this flavor to see how it compares. We'll see. I sometimes opt for these cups, so I'm not committing to a multi-pack of something I might not like. Now, you've probably noticed from the reviews I've done that there's a very heavy swing into the artificial meat flavors with noodles exported to the US. And we mainly have the USDA to blame for the inability to import a lot of products containing real meat. So the American market gets a lot of these artificial flavors because it's just easier to get them through customs. The meat flavor approximation comes from stuff like yeast extract, maltodextrin, soy protein, and other additives. And sometimes they work, and sometimes they are a big swing and a miss. There's plenty of examples of both in my old reviews. But as long as the flavor of this is good, I won't complain if it doesn't exactly taste like meat. So let's just check this out. First off, sodium warning if you are intolerant to large amounts. This has 2,523 milligrams in it, which is 105% of your daily allowance. Oof. Now opening this up, we've got a useless fork, a round block of noodles that you can see inside there, powdered seasoning, liquid seasoning, and dried vegetables. Now the dry powder has a lot of those artificial meat additives plus mushroom, onion, sugar, turmeric, and garlic, along with a thickening agent. The liquid pouch is palm oil, garlic, scallion, sesame, and rice wine, along with a few other minor additives. And the dried vegetables are mushrooms, carrots, and scallions. Now, I didn't notice any obvious animal products in the ingredient list, so this is probably vegetarian and could be vegan, but please double check yourself to make sure. So normally I would say now is the time to get this cooked, but funny story, there's no cooking instructions on this. So that's fun. Obviously there's a fill line in here to add water to, but yeah, I have no idea. So I guess what I'm gonna do is put all the packets in, and according to the internet, I should be able to cover and steep these for 3 to 5 minutes. So let's split the difference at 4 minutes and see what happens. But first, the pouches. All right, time to steep. All right, and here we are. And as always, we're going to give this a nice stir to make sure everything is incorporated, especially that liquid that kind of stuck around the top here. I gotta say, this is a really healthy portion of noodles. Even if this turns out to be mediocre, it's absolutely going to be filling, so that's a plus. Alright, it looks decently stirred up at this point. It does smell like chicken broth and sesame oil. I'm not getting a whole lot of mushroom smell off of it, but that's not to say it won't taste like that. Let's give this a taste. All right, let's talk about the noodles first. I think the next time we review one of these, I'm going to let them go for 3 minutes. At 4 minutes, they're just getting a little bit soft, and they're not terrible, but they're not great either. Pretty similar to other very basic instant noodle packs you've probably had in the past. They've got that slight brittleness. They're getting mushy as I speak. They're just okay. I'm going to say they'll probably turn out a little bit better at a 3-minute steep, and they're probably even better in the pillow pack than they are here. But the ones I'm reviewing at this point, I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 10. As far as spiciness is concerned, no spice here whatsoever. I did not notice chili pepper in the ingredients. I think this is completely mild and should not offend anybody's palate as far as spice goes. 0 out of 10 for spiciness. And so now the overall flavor of this is pretty good. It delivers on what it promises, for the most part. It does taste like chicken and mushroom, but the slant is much more heavily towards chicken than it is towards the earthiness of the mushroom. It's decently salty. It's got a nice amount of onion flavor and an unexpectedly copious amount of garlic flavor, which I really appreciate. The sesame oil and the rice wine in the liquid pack are really making this into something much more than your average chicken noodle soup. There's some earthiness and nuttiness from the sesame oil, a little bit of acidic sweetness from the rice wine, and of course that liquid pouch has also given this a nice oily finish. As for the flakes, you've got some nice chunks of mushroom in here, not quite sure which kind, but they're firm and they're tasty, and they rehydrated nicely. Same goes for the carrot, nice pleasing texture. I like this. It's not a slam dunk. The artificial chicken flavor is still noticeably artificial. It's not bad, but it is definitely not chicken. And of course the quality of the noodle isn't my favorite either. But overall this is pretty tasty. I'm not mad at it. I would absolutely buy other JML products in the future. And in that regard, we're off to a good start with me liking this company. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 overall. And if you're any kind of fan of chicken and mushrooms, I think you'll be pleased with this flavor. So there we go. Yeah, the addition of rice wine and sesame oil turned this into something a little more interesting and tasty than your standard chicken noodles. The broth and the flakes are nice, the noodles are just average, and maybe if you spot the pillow pack, give that one a try because the noodles will probably be better than these were. But I like the flavors in here, and this is definitely a brand I will check out more of in the future. So that's it for this review. My other JML flavor in the queue is also a cup that I will get to someday soon. So let me know in the comments if you've had JML noodles before, and if so, what flavors I should check out in the future. And I'll see you next time on Noodle Journey.